Good morning. Woke up with my hands asleep. I've been struggling with that a little bit. I'm sure it's partially aging, but wonder if there's something else to it where your hands fall asleep to the point that they wake you up. I've been side sleeper for a long time because I have like fairly clogged sinuses kind of consistently. So kind of seems like when you're laying on your side, it's easier to breathe. And because of that, I think a little bit while I'm laying on my side, my circulation to my blood flow to my hands gets cut off a little bit. That's really all I got about that. So good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. We're gonna do green or red today. It's the warm apple pie. It's the balsam forest. And we'll do the warm apple pie. As I was saying, my name is Coffee with Ken. It is Wednesday morning. I believe it is December 17th. It is 6:02 a.m. Happy Wednesday. Coffee with Ken's a show I've been doing for quite some time. It is a show about me talking. It is a show about me sharing some feelings, kind of sharing a little bit about the ups and downs we have in life, kind of sharing the adventure. If you kind of travel through life, you're going to learn a few things, at least if you want to learn a few things. You're going to experience many things, at least if you want to experience many things. I think a lot of people kind of walk down with their head down and just try and get from waking up in the morning maybe to going to sleep at night. And even on good, bad, or indifferent days, I try and keep my eyes open and experience as much as I can, because, I don't know, the more fun conversations I have or what have you, the more interesting I find life to be. So I talk about that on this show, and I share my little thoughts and fun little stories, share special moments, sunrises. I've shared tears and plenty of laughter and lots of first sips of coffee. Which reminds me, for those that have been watching a while, you know this is not just a show about me talking. For those that have been watching a while, you know it is also a show. A little dark over here, but I'm not going to apologize too much for the darkness. I might not apologize at all for the darkness. All right, I apologize just a little bit for the darkness. I mean, I could turn on a light, but that would affect the mood. As I was saying, hold on, I gotta get some water. Hold on. Hold your pretty horses. Good morning, Julie Flanagan. Good morning, Satras, and I think it says Mike. And some other names, I'm not sure I'm reading correctly. Oh, the chair felt especially hard this morning, maybe because I thumped ungracefully down upon the chair. But anyway, as I was saying, look at that. That's kind of fun. Hold on, we got the reflection of the fireplace on the wall. Maybe you want to see it directly. Wow, this looks like a seance a little bit. And I think a seance is probably, I don't even know if I really believe in sacrilege too much. I think God understands. God understands humor. God understands us questioning. You know, I doubt God gets too concerned if some woman believes she can communicate with the dead and sells tickets. I don't know. But anyway, as I was saying, for those that have been watching a while, you know, it's not just a show about me talking. It's really not. Hello from Japan. How are you? How are you? As I was saying, for those that have been watching a while, you know, it's also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, on this Wednesday morning, wait, is it Thursday morning? I think it's Thursday morning. I don't know, my work-life balance sucks. My work-life balance sucks. But before we talk about that too much, let's get back to my first sip of coffee. I'm excited to have my first sip of coffee on this Thursday morning. And my hope is wherever you are and whatever you're doing, that you have a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. It's a special treat. It is a special treat. It's the pumpkin spice. Maybe I only have about one bag left of the pumpkin spice. I've been drinking the peppermint mocha the last few days, which is okay. Oh, but it is not the pumpkin spice. William Castro just asked me a very long question. And I liked how he said, a quick story about my COVID-19 experience. I'll just read his question. Look, I'm just waking up. I'm just having my first sip of coffee. I know none of you are going to feel sorry for me, but William Castro said, Ken, give us a quick story about your COVID-19 experience. Where were you during the lockdown? Did you learn anything from the pandemic experience? What would you do differently in hindsight? And maybe if we were having a conversation one-on-one with William Castro, and it wasn't 6:08 in the morning, and I didn't just have my very first sip of coffee, they might be all reasonable questions and even interesting topics and maybe things I'd like to discuss. But William Castro, I just chill. Ask that question in like 20 minutes. I may answer it. Good morning, Gordo Tex. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at you because I appreciate the question. And again, maybe interesting topics, but I'm just having my first sip. Don't make me think so hard and bring up hard memories on all of us. A lot of times this will be me lubricating the brain as I scold whoever asked that question, and then I'll go, now I'm all fired up about the topic and I'm going to talk about it. My COVID-19 experience. I think it was a scary time for our country. I think it was a scary time for the world. I was never personally frightened uh, or felt physically threatened by COVID. I did not. I personally, and I don't want to bring up a lot of issues, but I think they manipulated the numbers and created deaths. If you died of on a motorcycle crash and had the sniffles, I think they might have rung it up as a COVID death. Anytime anyone dies, it's a sad thing. Um, it seems we knew who was most at risk. I think there could have been great opportunities missed in the favor for a widespread lockdown. There was a governor in Illinois that he's still there. I think his name's Jay Pritzker. Frankly, I'd call him morbidly obese. And I wish he came out and said, hey, it's clear that COVID is impacting certain demographics more than others. And because of that, it seems to be afflicting people that are overweight in a far greater number. And because of that, I'm going to address a lifelong challenge of mine and really go about losing some weight because I think it's important for my health. And I think it would be a good example for the fine people of Illinois. But instead of that, he went on vacations and locked down Illinois. It's made me more cynical. I was talking with a friend the other day that had a misdiagnosis in her family, and it's made me less believe in the science, to be honest with you. I think you can pay scientists to come up with all sorts of results, find all sorts of different results. You can, you know you can. If you hire the scientists and for whatever reason, they can interpret, the same scientist can interpret data and come up with opposite, not the same scientist. Well, the same scientist could. They can play with numbers, manipulate the data, look for things they specifically want, and come up with different results based on who's paying them. I'm sure of that. You know, you might not like, you might call me a science denier. I understand the value of science. I'm glad there's a medical community, but I think you got to look at it with a little bit of skepticism and follow the dollar and realize that if Pfizer is going to benefit massive amounts of money and they might be financing some of the science, they might come up with different results than other people. Good morning, Narinder. How are you? I'm good. He'll be discharged in time. Oh, wow. He's in there long term. Daily Gaming says, pray for Australia, guys. Are you talking about that shooting? Something else didn't happen in Australia, did it? Hopefully not. His and Her Landscaping made money off Pfizer stock overnight. Good morning, Sweet Flynn. Where are you from, Sweet Flynn? You haven't been on in a while. I've missed you terribly. Oh, all right. I am your favorite transgender YouTuber. Well, I'm glad you subscribed. I am glad you subscribed. And I hope the fact that I'm actually not transgender at all doesn't cause you to unsubscribe to my YouTube channel. I don't really understand. But again, my most recent video I posted, you don't need to understand everything. I don't need to understand what goes on in someone else's mind or their body and would consider a sex change, or even wearing a dress if you're a man, or calling yourself Tom if you were born a Susan. I guess I don't need to understand. But I was going to say I don't understand the want. But again, maybe it's not a want. Maybe it's a physiological thing. And maybe they were born with more, I don't know, female leaning genes. But again, I think the point from this for me is I don't need to understand it. I don't need to understand why people do things or act a certain way or see things a certain way. I just got to determine if it's safe for me to have in my area. And I'm not talking the trans things. I'm talking a lot of life conflicts you have, because I'll have very fierce disagreements with people to the point I'm going, holy crap, you can't be in my space. This isn't going to go well. Somebody says they're gambling and they can't stop. I mean, are you currently gambling? Well, Sweet Flynn, where have you been? I missed you too. You have the funnest, kindest sounding name. His and Her Landscaping says the only type of makeup men need is making up with a woman. I think the more interesting question about that, His and Her Landscaping, is the making up with a woman thing. Like, what do you mean by that? Like, if you did something bad, apologizing? For sure. Saw a video during the night sometime, and there was a guy talking about 3 drugs that if you're in a relationship with a person that is doing these 3 drugs, you need to get out as quickly as possible. He might have said addicted, but I'm not sure that he said addicted. I think he must have said addicted. Would you guess what the drugs are that he picked? The first one I thought was kind of obvious. He said if you're in a relationship with somebody that's addicted to alcohol, you need to get out, because they're not going to change, and it's just going to be an endless cycle of anger and apologies and anger, and you need to get out. The second drug he mentioned was meth. And I have no experience with that, but a couple people are saying it, and that is what he said. The second drug he said was meth. He said they don't love you. If they're doing meth, they don't love you. They only love the high of the meth. And again, I have no experience with it at all, but apparently sounds like a very powerful drug and a dangerous drug. The third drug, he said, and Jeannie's right on that, is weed. And he says the danger with that, and he phrased it, I wish I could be here, but he definitely said weed. And he said the danger with that is it's like a slow drainer of your life. And he phrased it better than I am. But he said it's not gonna, fry out your liver or cause you to vomit, but it slowly over time saps all your motivation and enthusiasm. And he said, so if you're in a relationship with somebody that's hooked on weed, that is going to, over time, sap the life out of you as well. So get out. Nathan says weed has done so much more bad than good. You wish you'd never done it. Yeah, I think it's an interesting topic because so many people viciously defend it. But I almost think if you're viciously defending it, you must know there's a problem with it. Because I used to get high every day and smoke weed every day. And I didn't do it on Saturdays when I wanted to watch a cool movie with my buddies. I did it every day, pretty much most of the day if I had it. And I knew I wasn't feeling as good or getting high from it or enjoying it like I used to. But the way I'd try and get over that would just be take bigger hits, get different strains, smoke from bigger receptacles, search for a high that was no longer there. Fred says, not to mention it takes money from your family. Well, it certainly takes some money, but not a lot of things take money from your family. I mean, golf takes money from your family, or you know, it would be easy to spend more on golf a week than on weed a week. You go out for one round of golf, you can spend $150. Buys you a fair amount of weed. Oh. Let's see. Let us see. But it's Thursday morning. I said it a little bit ago. I have no work-life balance. Tuesday night or Tuesday afternoon, I went to work. I worked for 7 hours as a bartender. I drove home. I went right to sleep, woke up early with you fine folk, did my show, got in the shower, went to work as a substitute teacher. And by the way, had an awesome day. But anyway, hold on, put that on hold. Got off work, donated plasma, came home, ate dinner, started watching a movie, started falling asleep, went to bed, woke up, and I need to hop in the shower in about 30 minutes to go to work again. There's not much in my life beyond like work, rest, and working out occasionally. So getting financially stronger, which I'm just telling you is hard to do when you're twice divorced with 4 beautiful kids and don't have a real stable career. I work as a bartender, a waiter, and a substitute teacher for 3 different jobs. So on the side, I also donate plasma and create content. So I'm working on financial stability, and maybe it's just not something I'm destined to have. Getting in physically good shape and getting as close to my little ones as I can. But yeah, my work-life balance isn't good right now. I'm wanting to go see my number 2 daughter at a meet. She's in competitive cheer on Sunday. But I'm working Saturday night, and I don't know if I'll be able to make it. And honestly, I don't know what I would do after it. And I'm trying to develop some plans because I live 3 hours away from the girl that does cheer. And I haven't figured out what my next 2 weeks of life are going to look like. The restaurants and bar I work at are very slow over the next 2 weeks. They're very slow to close at times. And my school is going to be closed for the next 2 weeks. So suddenly I'm staring 2 weeks void of my 3 jobs. And I have no work-life balance, and I need money. So I'm going, I need to be working to make the money. But those jobs aren't going to be, like, the schools are going to be closed for a Christmas break. So I won't be able to do that. What will I do? And that's where I'm at. That is where I'm at. But either way, for those checking in, I have to go at 6:50. So if it starts getting to be about 6:50, alert me. And don't let me keep talking about COVID or transgender or weed, because sometimes I get distracted. Why will this be a sad Christmas for a lot of kids, says in her landscaping. Yeah, why will this be a sad Christmas for a lot of kids? Somebody who called himself my favorite Australian is back. I don't know that you are my favorite Australian. I mean, I got several favorite Australians. I'm huge in Australia. I'm mega successful. Anytime I walk down the beaches in Australia, I can't help but get noticed. Oftentimes, I mean, usually it's the little ones that notice first. They'll run up and they'll have things for me to autograph for them. But invariably, the women, the babes in the bikinis, when they get over the intimidation they feel by my presence, will usually kind of saunter up and compete for my attention. And that's kind of embarrassing as well. Ladies, 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 I don't have much of a work-life balance right now. I don't have time to entertain you beautiful women. I'm too busy focused on finishing my walk along the beach, substitute teaching, bartending, serving, and getting back to the United States for my daughter's cheer meet. So it's Thursday morning. It is Thursday morning. I'm gonna get myself another cup of coffee. You guys hang. Ooh. So, what's been weighing on my mind of late, since my my 3 jobs are inconsistent. I mean, I'm substituting today, and it's my 3rd day this week, which feels great. And did I mention I had a great day teaching yesterday? Oh, I did. It was cool. But they have breaks, and I don't get paid a salary, and I only get paid when I work. So they have 2 weeks off for Christmas break, which I'm looking at the end of the week, so I won't be able to substitute for the next 2 weeks. And this week alone, I've worked 20 few hours, like a little over 20 hours there. So it's a fairly significant amount of the work that I do, and the schools are closed and I won't be working. So part of me wants to look for more stable work or different, more consistent bartending, servings type work here, or some other type of work. I applied for a DJ, I applied for a social media manager job here in the Fox Valley or Greater Appleton area. So I'm looking for more stable work, but part of me, and this is where it gets tricky, because I think I could go out and in the next 2 days find jobs where I could start on Monday and bust my ass and make some money and keep busy, if I knew I was going to stay in Appleton. But my big calling is getting closer to my 2 littlest ones. I have a beautiful boy and a beautiful girl, and their mom and I are kind of working on living situations and parenting time arrangements. And I want to get as close to them as safe, I would say. A lot closer than I am now. and they're going to be hopefully moving back to Illinois. They live in a different